So here is GME Gamestop. This finishes at $135 today. That is up 15.06%. What's up, YouTube? My name is Ty, financial advisor. Welcome to my channel. Please like the video, please subscribe, and catch me every weekday after market close on the Smarter Gambling Show. So here is AMC Entertainment. This finishes at $14.48 today. That is up 15.19%. So it's been a while since we talked about AMC. It's been pretty stagnant, been trading sideways for like 2 months now. But today we're getting some pretty big price action, and this did make top 10 on StockTwits. It was number 2 after SPY today. I believe it had over 8,000 mentions. So once again, we're going to analyze it. So no company-specific news to justify this price action today. Just the overall market's doing really well today. Everything mooning, especially growth and memes. The apes are having a field day today. Nice gains here today. Let's jump right in. Let's go ahead and analyze. So first of all, we have a cup and handle in the making. Bottom of the cup being the low of 970. And there can be multiple possible tops. It can be 1585, 1890, or 3480. And longer term, this is part of an even bigger cup and handle where this has the potential to go back up to $72. So those are all bullish indicators. That is telling us that the stock should come back up to one of those tops to complete the cup. So back here in May, we had a double top and also a double bottom. So this didn't quite come back down to form a triple bottom, but it still can, still possible. So this may come back down to 1040 to form a triple bottom, and this may come back up to 1585 to form a triple top. So we'll see which way this goes, if this either hits the triple bottom or triple top first. But if this hits 1040, that would be a triple bottom, and that is a bullish indicator. That is telling us that the stock may break out to the upside after that. And if this hits 1585 first, that would be a triple top, and that would be a bearish indicator. That is telling us that it may break out to the downside. In the aftermarket here, this is pulling back down to 1395, so that is a bearish indicator for tomorrow. That is suggesting that tomorrow the stock will sell off, and it is selling off because this is trading in sympathy with GME right now. GME has some pretty bearish news in the aftermarket here. And right here, we do have a symmetrical triangle forming. Right now, this is consolidating between 15 and 12, so there's a bit more consolidation to go, but this should consolidate somewhere around 1350, and from there it's going to break out, either to the upside or the downside. So the symmetrical triangle is currently a neutral indicator. And if you guys want to follow along, the link to the chart is in the description down below. So right now, this is trading between the sideways channel, the rectangle of 1465 and 1410. So if this goes to the upside, next levels of resistance would be 1465, 1535, 1585, 1650, 1690, 1730, 1780, 1855, 1890, 1955, and then 2035. There is resistance above 2035, but we're not going to discuss that right now. And if this goes to the downside, next levels of support would be 1410, 1370, 1350, 1305, 1265, 1245, $12, 1160, 1090, 1040, and then 985. There is support below 985, but we're not going to discuss that right now. So right now at the current price, 1450, the channels to the upside are really wide. So if the stock continues to run to the upside, expect a significant increase in price action. And to the downside, the channels are regular sized. So expect a regular amount of price action if this continues to run to the downside. However, if/when this breaks $12 to the downside, the channels start to open up and get pretty wide, so expect a significant increase in price action if/when this breaks $12. RSI is currently at 58, so pretty average, a little bit above average. So according to the RSI, the current price of 1450 should be a little bit lower, and this did 62 million in volume today, which is below the average of 91 million. So this pump today was not confirmed by the volume. Okay, guys, just my opinion, not financial advice. So longer term, this looks pretty bullish. Again, we have a strong bullish indicator in the cup and handle, but in the short term, it's pretty difficult to tell which way this is going to go. We have neutral indicators in the upcoming triple top/bottom, symmetrical triangle, and RSI, and we have a bearish indicator in the aftermarket action. So in the short term, this appears to be slightly bearish. So therefore, if you want to go long, not financial advice, honestly, the current price, 1450, is a pretty decent entry. It's not great, but not terrible. Very average entry here. So if you plan to buy and hold for the long term, it's not such a bad play. I think in the short term, this has the possibility to go back up to 34.80 to complete the cup. So from the current price of 14.50, that would be a 140% upside. So a lot of upside potential already. That being said, again, this may form a triple bottom at 1040. I think that's some pretty critical support. Retested that a couple of times, couldn't break it. So I highly doubt it's going to go lower than 1040. And I think that'd be an excellent entry. Not saying it will go back down there, but it is possible. So from the current price of 1450 down to 1040, that would be about a 30% downside. So I would say going long at the current price, 1450 would be a high risk, very high reward play. It's worth a shot, especially if you're willing to hold this for the long term. But I don't think 1450 is the greatest entry. Personally, I would try to get this back at 1040. So if this does come back down to 1040, again, this has the potential to go back up to 34.80 in the short term. And that would be a 235% upside potential. So I would say going long at 1040 would be a low risk, very high reward play. I think that would be an excellent entry, and you really can't go too wrong there. So whether you decide to go long now or try to get this back at 1040, you should be able to make money. So I can't support going long at the current price, 1450 and lower. And if it pulls back, then you can just average down at the supports that I mentioned before. But personally, I would set my buy orders to 1040. It may not go back down there, but if it does, that'd be an excellent entry. A lot of upside potential, not too much downside potential. Now, if you want to go short, not financial advice, I would not do that, and I wouldn't really recommend that. It's not necessarily a bad play. It's just pretty risky. Again, at the current price, 1450, there is a short-term upside potential of 165% and a short-term downside potential of 30%. So I would say going short here would be a very high risk, high reward play. Can pay off pretty big, but too risky for my liking. So if you want to go short, do it at your own risk, and I would cover at 1040, where the potential triple bottom will form. But I do think there are better short plays out there in the market, and it would probably be better to pass on this one on the short side. But I will say, if this does in fact go back up to 34.80, then I think that would be a good time to short this down, because the cup will be completed, and from there should pull back pretty significantly to form the handle. And I would say going short at 34.80 would be a low risk, high reward play. So you can't go too wrong shorting this at 34.80. All right, so pretty straightforward, guys. The stock has been doing nothing for the past 2 months, but today, big price action. Long term, it looks bullish, but in the short term, it's a bit difficult to tell where this is going to go. So if you want to go long, the current price of 1450, not a bad entry. So I can't support that, but personally, I would try to get this back at 1040. I think that'd be an excellent entry. And if you want to go short, it's not the greatest play at the current price, but can pay off pretty big, just pretty risky. So if you want to go short, please do that at your own risk. And I would say cover at 1040, where the potential triple bottom will form. But personally, I would try to wait and get this back at 34.80, where the top of the cup is. And I think that'd be an excellent entry on the short side. You can play this a bunch of different ways right now. There are opportunities to make money on both sides here. So bulls make money, bears make money, pigs get slaughtered. So congratulations to everyone who made money in the stock today, and good luck to everyone currently in the stock and to everyone looking to take a position. This is AMC Entertainment. So here is GME Gamestop. This finishes at $135 today. That is up 15.06%. So we haven't talked about GME in a while here, but we did have some pretty big news, both yesterday in the aftermarket and today in the aftermarket. We're getting some breaking news here. So let's check that out. So yesterday's news was that there's going to be a 4-to-1 stock split. So in theory, stock splits and reverse splits are not supposed to have any effect on the stock because nothing is really changing. But in reality, a stock split is usually bullish and a reverse split is usually bearish. So 4-to-1 stock split, the apes thought that was bullish. And today we got some pretty big price action. That was probably a huge factor as to why the stock went up so much today. But here in the aftermarket, we're getting breaking news now. The CFO is going to leave the company. I'm not sure if he quit or he got fired, but the CFO is leaving and the company is announcing layoffs. So a lot of companies are doing layoffs right now because of this bad economy, but that's not good. Pretty bearish news there. So this is tanking in the aftermarket here. This is back down to 127, but still overall, pretty big day here. But all right, let's jump right in. Let's go ahead and analyze here. So first of all, we have a cup and handle in the making. Bottom of the cup being the low of 77.60, and there can be multiple possible tops. It can be 153, 190, or 200. And longer term, this is part of an even bigger cup and handle where this has the potential to go back up to 347. So those are all bullish indicators. That is telling us that the stock should come back up to one of those tops to complete the cup. And here we have a triple bottom. Here's the first bottom. Here's the second bottom, and yesterday we hit the third bottom, and right now it looks like it's on the way back up to form a quadruple top at around 149, so that's a bullish indicator. So we did have this descending channel here. I said that it looked like it was due for a breakout, and it did in fact break out. So now this bull flag is forming. Here's the flagpole, and here's the flag. So that is a bullish indicator that is telling us that the stock may break out to the upside. And here on the MACD, the moving average convergence divergence, the MACD line has not crossed the signal line just yet, but it looks like it will pretty soon. So that is a bullish indicator that is telling us that it may be time to buy. In the aftermarket here, this is pulling back down to 128. So if this aftermarket action holds, that would be a bearish indicator for tomorrow. That is suggesting that tomorrow the stock will sell off. And if you guys want to follow along, the link to the chart is in the description down below. So right now this is sitting on the support of 135, which I finished at today. So if this goes to the upside, next levels of resistance would be 137, 140, 143, 147, 149, 151, 153, 156, 158, 162, 166, 172, 176, 181, 184, 187, 190, 193, 198, and then 200. There is resistance above 200, but we're not going to discuss that right now. And if this goes to the downside, next levels of support would be 131, 129, 125, 120, 118, 116, 112, 109, 107, 105, 102, 98, 95, 94, 91, 88, 85, 81, and then the low of 78. So right now at the current price, 135, the channels to the upside and the downside are very wide, so expect significant price action either way this goes. RSI is currently at 56, so pretty average there, a little bit above average. So according to the RSI, the current price of 135 should be a little bit lower, and this did 7.5 million in volume today, which is below the average of 9 million. So this pump today was not confirmed by the volume. Okay guys, just my opinion, not financial advice. So right now, in the short and long terms, the stock looks pretty bullish. In the long term, we have a strong bullish indicator in the cup and handle, and in the short term, we have strong bullish indicators in the triple bottom, bull flag, and MACD. We have a bearish indicator in the aftermarket action, but that should be just temporary, and we have a neutral indicator in the RSI. So overall, the stock appears to be pretty bullish in the short and long terms. So therefore, if you want to go long, not financial advice, honestly, 135 isn't the greatest entry, very average entry here. In the short term, this has the potential to go back up to 200 to complete the cup, and I think this has the potential to go back down to 116 to form a quadruple bottom. So from the current price 135 up to 200, that would be about a 50% upside potential. And from the current price 135 down to 116, that would be about a 15% downside potential. So I would say going long at the current price would be a medium risk, high reward play. Definitely worth a shot in my opinion. I would have no problems with you guys going long here. But personally, I would try to get this at a better entry, back at 116. There's some very critical support there. Retested that a couple of times, couldn't break it. And from 116 up to 200, where the top of the cup is, that would be over a 70% upside potential. And I would say going long at 116 would be a low risk, high reward play. So whether you decide to go long at the current price 135 or 116, you should be able to make some pretty good money here to the upside. So I can't support going long at 135. And if it pulls back, then you can just average down at the supports that I mentioned before. But personally, I would try to get this back at 116. I think that'd be an excellent entry. And if it pulls back from there, then you can just average down at the supports that I mentioned before. Now, if you want to go short, not financial advice, I would not do that. And I would not recommend that. I just don't really think the risk is worth the reward here. Again, in the short term, at the current price, 50% upside potential, 15% downside potential. So I would say going short here would be a high risk, medium reward play. Not really worth it, in my opinion. It can pay off, but too risky for my liking. So if you want to go short, please do that at your own risk. And I would cover at 116, where the quadruple bottom may form. That being said, I think if this does come back up to 200 to complete the cup, I think that would be an excellent entry to go short. From there, it should pull back pretty significantly to form the handle. So I think 200 would be an excellent entry on the short side. And I would say going short at 200 would be a low risk, high reward play. So I can't support going short at 200 and higher. And that should pay out pretty big. So pretty straightforward, guys. Big news yesterday. There's going to be a stock split. Very bearish news today with the CFO resignation and the layoffs, but the chart still looks pretty bullish in the short and long terms. So if you want to go long, 135, not a bad entry, very average entry here. So I can't support going long here, but personally, I would try to get this back at 116, and I think that'd be a much better entry. But either way, if you go long here or at 116, should pay out pretty big. And if you want to go short, I don't think 135 is the greatest entry. It can pay off, just pretty risky. So if you want to go short, please do that at your own risk, and I would say cover at 116. But personally, I would try to wait and get this back at 200, where the top of the cup is. And I think that'd be an excellent entry on the short side. So there are opportunities to make money on both sides here. A lot of different ways you can play this. So congratulations to everyone who made money in the stock today, and good luck to everyone currently in the stock and to everyone looking to take a position. This is GME Gamestop. Thanks everyone for watching today. I appreciate you guys. Please like the video, please subscribe, and catch me every weekday after market close on The Smarter Gambling Show. You apes already know, diamond hands to the moon. I'm Ty. This is Smarter Gambling. See you guys tomorrow. Peace out.